In this video clip, I will show you how to determine the sample size for a study and you intend to use a Pearson correlation coefficient statistical analysis in a situation where you have two groups of participants. One of them is male, the other group is female, and in each group there are two sets of data. One is the total number of hours studied for exam and the total score achieved by each participant for that exam. So there are two sets of data for each group. We want to correlate, find a correlation between number of hours studied and the score in an exam in the male section and then in the female section, and then correlate those two data together using Pearson correlation. And to determine how many individual you have to recruit for the study, then the way to answer that question is to use the Gpower software, which is a statistical power that is freely available online to download. So here in this software, I have started the software to estimate the number of participants to recruit for each group, male and female, based on performing a correlation coefficient statistical analysis. Click on the test here, select correlation regression, and then scroll down to correlation to independent Pearsons are. Once you selected that, again we can see that the test family is Z test and the statistical test is two independent Pearsons. For the type of power analysis, since we are going to determine the number of participants in the study before commencing or performing the study, then we are here doing a priori analysis. In the priori analysis, we are going to compute the required sample size based on a given input scores or values, such as the alpha value, the statistical power, and the effect size. So to use this software, we need to have a preset input parameters determined in advance. So we're going to stick with the two tails option here for the first parameter. And then for the effect size Q, there are several ways to get this value for that effect size, either through a predetermined value set up by the software itself, which give you effect size conventions of small, medium, and large. Small is 0.1, medium is 0.3, and large is 0.5. So we're going to stick with the medium effect size, Q value of 0.3 here. This is one of the options to get the effect size. Another options to find the effect size is to look through the literature and find similar study performed previously to obtain the Q value. Or a third way is to determine that value through calculation here for the third options that is available by the software. So we're going to stick with the conventions, which is 0.3 here. For the alpha error probability, alpha represent type 1 error, and we're going to keep that at a 0.05 value. And for the statistical power parameters, which is equal to 1 minus beta value, beta represent the type 2 error, and it's usually set at 0.2. So the power here we will use is 0.8. And for allocation ratio for the two groups, since we have two groups here, group number 1 and group number 2, males and females, and we want the individual recruited to each group is equal, the ratio to be 1. We could increase that to 1.5 or 2, having more male than females or more females than males. But here we're going to stick to a ratio of 1. Once you click on calculate under these input parameters, the software will determine the number of individual to include in each group. So for this type of study that you intend to do, you need 178 individual in each group to get all these statistical values. We could also change the effect size to be higher. So we'll go for 0.5 and then recalculate the sample size, and we can see the sample size is now for each group is 66. We could also go and reduce the effect size to 0.1. Again, the numbers goes high for the participant to be included in the study. So this is the way to calculate the number of participants to recruit to a study that you intend to do in the future, and you are planning to use correlation coefficient, and you want to find a correlation between these two groups that they have also two set of value within them. So this is the way to determine the number of participants in each group.